I went into the Little Mermaid, this 2024 dark fairy tale horror version, not the one with singing crustaceans, hoping for at least a splash of style. After all, writer-director Leigh Scott has a habit of grabbing familiar stories, shaking them like a snow globe, and seeing what odd flakes drift out. This time he decided to fuse Hans Christian Andersen with H.P. Lovecraft, a mix that on paper sounds like the sort of pitch you'd make after a long night, 3 pints, and an overconfident grin. Done well, it could have been wild fun. Tentacles meet tragic romance. But what we get instead feels bolted together in the way Frankenstein assembled his monster, only without the lightning bolt to bring it to life. The biggest problem hits within minutes. The so-called Lovecraftian tone never shows up. Instead of eerie atmosphere or creeping dread, the film serves up a kind of creative vacuum. It's as if Scott scribbled eldritch horror goes here in the margins of his script, forgot to fill it in, and shot the movie anyway. The story drifts from scene to scene with the energy of a tired goldfish. You keep waiting for a spark, a twist, even a decent scare. None arrive. The result is a film that feels less like a dark fairy tale and more like a damp bedtime story read by someone deeply bored with the concept of storytelling. Worse still is the character work, if one can call it work. I've seen cardboard cutouts show more range. These characters aren't two-dimensional. They're closer to theoretical concepts, the sort of shapes you draw in geometry class and forget immediately. No motivations, no arcs, no personalities beyond standing, walking, and occasionally saying lines. When Mike Markoff, playing the lead, tries to give a real performance, it feels a bit like watching someone steer a sinking rowboat with a teaspoon. You admire the effort, but you know exactly how it's going to end. And then we get to the scene that sums up the whole endeavor. The professor and his loyal lackey are stocking up on harpoons because nothing says mermaid diplomacy like handy fishing weapons when a pair of villains stroll in. I say villains, though calling them that feels generous. These mermen wander into the cabin like they got lost on the way to craft services. No menace, no emotion, not even mild irritation. One knocks out the professor with all the passion of someone closing a filing cabinet. Then the lackey takes his big heroic shot with the harpoon and misses. Inside a shack the size of a cupboard. The harpoon sails between the two baddies, who don't even blink. It's a moment that should be tense. Instead, it plays like a rehearsed comedy bit, except without the comedy. The special effects don't help. The film reaches no-budget territory so often you start to feel nostalgic for old Doctor Who rubber monsters. The mermaid's early bodysuit is the best effect on show, and that's saying something. The prize for worst, however, goes to Fish-Face Mermenian, a creature whose mask is so oversized you can see the actor's real eyes blinking underneath. It's less terrifying ocean fiend and more Halloween sale reject. I've seen better prosthetics on bargain bin action figures. Scott's filmmaking style doesn't rescue anything either. His approach can be summed up as point camera, shoot scene, stop scene. No build-up, no payoff. No sense that the camera placement is doing anything other than witnessing events because someone had to. Scenes begin abruptly and end even more abruptly, and the pacing lurches like a broken fairground ride. Some moments drag on so long you start checking your watch. Others cut away just when you think something might finally happen. Spoiler, it doesn't. The rest of the cast fails to bring any life to the material. A few supporting actors manage to land an okay moment here or there, like someone accidentally tripping and looking graceful mid-fall. But the general vibe is wooden, painfully wooden, driftwood level wooden. Dialogue hits the air and drops with an audible thud, like a floorboard snapping under its own weight. And the big question, is it entertaining? Let me put it this way. If this film were on the Titanic, it would sink faster than Billy Zane's credibility. It isn't even one of those so bad it's good curiosity pieces that live on cult shelves beside Troll 2 or The Room. It's just bad. The sort of bad that drains your will like an eldritch creature, though without the benefit of being interesting. If you need a mermaid fix, do yourself a kindness. Track down Splash, or Andersen's own tale, or even the first 10 minutes of Jaws. At least the ocean feels alive there. This version of The Little Mermaid is all saltwater and no soul. As a famous movie line once warned, you're gonna need a bigger boat. In this case, you'll need a better movie.